these set up here. It's like moss rock. Gotta wash them down. They've been piled up. Set these, put another one out there, another 3 over there. Again, it's stuff that we've had left over. And this stuff was actually taken out of a job. Customer didn't want it. We redid their landscaping and they didn't want the boulders, they didn't want anything. So we've had them sitting there for a while. This whole area here where these rocks are sitting around these trees is gonna be fescue grass. So I'm gonna seed it, which right now is a good time of year. It's still pretty warm right now. So, but not too hot for it because it needs the cooler temps. Fall and spring are a good time to seed the fescue. But before we can do that, we need to bring the dirt up. As you can see, the concrete curb there is really high, 6 inches higher, and then it even keeps dropping. So we're gonna have to bring like 8 to 10 inches of dirt in here in this whole area. We can easily do that. I mean, we've got the access here to just have the dirt delivered in dump trucks and they can just literally dump it and we can spread it out with the tractor. So it'll be a lot, pretty expensive, but it needs to be done. We finally had some time to finish up this patio here, so it's coming along. Of course, this is my project, so that's the reasoning why it's taken so long. Countless other jobs. We've been really busy. So of course the customers always come first. So we've been getting to the customers and kind of doing this in phases, you know, just whenever we have spare time to get to our own stuff. So excited because we finally got it done. This type of paver we do tend to usually keep in stock. That was the whole reasoning why I was wanting to use it, because we had it. Like I said, I'm trying to keep the budget low on this place, but also do a good job. You know, if I don't have to spend the money, then I'd rather not. But we want it to look good. So, and actually, crazy story is we actually ran out of blocks here. And unfortunately, we got to order a full pallet. So we were originally going to put a planter bed right there, but smaller than that, just for the one bush. As you can tell, we use every single block. I think we only had 1 block left over. We didn't have enough to go all the way out, so we decided to put this concrete border around there to get us farther, because otherwise the bed would have been really huge, and I didn't want to order a whole nother pallet of block or pavers to just use like 1/8 of the pallet, so, and have the rest sitting there. So I figured, you know, we came up with this idea of pouring a concrete border, which actually ties us in really good because it follows this sidewalk here, the same border of the sidewalk, you know, with this weird shape here, and then up there it kind of mirrors it, and then it's just smaller. So it turned out really cool. Stuff like that, you know, trying to cut some costs, save some money, and keep it looking good. But yeah, these guys put the sand in there, the poly sand. Again, the poly sand is a really good choice because it doesn't wash out like regular sand would. Grouted in there now, and these blocks are set. So this morning, or it's already afternoon now, but decided to give a home update. Finally getting there. It's kind of taking a little while, but the interior is almost there. We still got a few things to go. I'm gonna be doing a lot probably by myself, hopefully in the weeks coming. But yeah, we finally got it all painted in here. I already started moving stuff in. I'm still kind of in the process of that, trying to get moved in, but I think the contractor we had has already pretty much vacate the project. So there's a lot of little things that he wasn't quite done with, but he did mention to me that his guys did not want to come back. So I don't know what to think about that. I mean, you know, anytime we do a job, we're not just gonna leave without it being unfinished. So a little frustrating, but especially how much I paid for this. It's quite a bit, well over 20K. To have all the ceilings retextured. Of course, before it was popcorn ceilings, had them come through and scrape it. We were gonna try to do it, just ran out of time. You know, we're trying to keep with our customers' jobs first, so we've been just busy. So they textured the whole ceiling, retextured it to try to match. They also fixed all the cracks above all, like the doorways. All these doorways had cracks on them. Patched those, textured to blend. Painted the whole house. So honestly, I mean, it didn't come out too bad if you don't look at it closely. I will have to have it repainted if I wind up selling this place here in a couple of years, so that kind of stinks. You know, that was the whole reason why I hired somebody to help out. That way I didn't have to do anything. Didn't happen that way. So, but a lot of little things. I mean, overall, everything's pretty much done, like I said, as long as you don't really look too closely, but it's just a lot of mismatching paint, and I don't understand that. It's supposed to be an eggshell, and throughout this whole house, there's like shiny spots where like a gloss was used, kind of like in this area here. I don't know if you can see that, but let's see there. There's like gloss here, this whole patch here. So it's kind of, that's gloss, really shiny. You can kind of see it there, and then it goes back to eggshell, which is dull. A little bit of gloss on the edges here. So a lot of areas like that. I'm not sure what happened. I'm really not sure. But they patched over a lot of them. You know, I have called him back a lot of times over the past month, and I will say that he was really good on sending guys back, you know, every time I basically asked, you know, and I was pretty nice about it the whole time, you know, but I hadn't seen them in days, so I'd ask, you know, hey, when are they coming to finish up? He'd be like, well, we're already finished, and he would send them out, you know, next day or whatnot, but the things just never kept getting done. And that's why finally he was frustrated and just having all their hours, you know, here, and all these callbacks. But yeah, just little things like that. The main thing that I'm gonna have to really go over, and I was hoping not, I mean, all my trim work was pretty decent shape. I mean, there's dents on it and everything, that I'm not worried about, but the corners are really sloppy now, just from the texturing, you know, and I understand, you know, they had to texture all the corners, but I wish they would have taped off the trim before they did that, or have sanded it before they painted it. Most of the corners of the trim, they just painted right over the texture without even cleaning it. But you kind of see here in the light, you know, it's not too bad. They did kind of re-go over a lot of these. So this one they did kind of go over it, but you can still see a little bit of the roughness on there where the texture just needs to be sanded down. But it's harder now because it's been painted. That kind of stinks. But, well, you know, what do? I've got to fix that somehow. But yeah, just a lot of the corner work is just really rough. And that roughness, like I said, was because of they patched the cracks. There's a spot that they didn't finish there. So the side trims aren't too bad. The side trims of the door, because they didn't really texture anything down here. Yeah, overall the house is coming along, getting everything put in finally, so it's looking pretty good. Definitely getting there. The ceiling is gonna have to be repainted too, so that really stinks. Hopefully I can find somebody who knows how to do that well, but it's really patchy right now. It's just really patchy. And usually when it's brighter outside, you can see it really bad. But yeah, he mentioned about having it white, that it should have been white. And you wouldn't have seen that blotchiness. And from the very beginning, I would have preferred it white, but I had told him to do it all tan. Whatever this color is, just do it all one color. And that way, you know, it saves them from having to tape and separate it, you know. And I'm glad I didn't, because seeing their lines around the doorways, you know, I can't imagine what these lines would have looked like. They would have been all over the place. So I'm glad I went with one color, because it would have looked really, really horrible. But I wish it would have been white. That would have been really cool, especially with all the different heights of these ceilings. But yeah, it's kind of hard to tell on that one, but you can see the patchiness up there. You can just see the roller marks, and like there's some real dull areas and real shiny. You know, the contractor mentioned that it was because of the walls are crooked, but there are a couple of crooked ones, like down this hallway here. Down this hallway, that wall's a little bowed. You can definitely see that. Again, paintwork, I don't know if you can see, there's just a lot of patchiness, like this area here. You can see the shininess here of the roller, and then there's just like a straight line right here, and all this is dull because they shot it. Now you can kind of see throughout here too, like the whole middle area. So they shot everything with the gun, with the spray gun, the whole house, and then there was a lot of areas that were just bleeding through the old paint. This house had different colors of paint on almost every room. So that was a problem. Asked them if they could repaint all the areas that were bleeding through. All the old paint was bleeding through, because I guess, I don't know if they just shot it really fast or whatnot, or I don't know. So there's a lot of areas like that that are really patchy. So I don't know if anybody knows how to, well, I mean, I guess the only way is just to keep repainting. So it's gonna take a lot more paint. Really sucks because yeah, well, that's gonna be out of my pocket when I was hoping that would have been included in the well over 20K. Apparently not. So not too thrilled about these trim pieces. The contractor put these in. I didn't even ask for that. I'm not sure why they put them in, but they did. But now, I mean, the paintwork like against the brick is just like pretty bad. I don't know, I'm gonna have to clean that up. I asked them about that, they didn't want to clean it up, so I guess I'm gonna have to do that. But yeah, we got the hallway here. Again, a lot of the corners need just attention. So I guess me and our guys, if we have time, we'll have to come through and re-sand them again. And doors as well, man. There's a lot of patchiness on the doors. I'm not sure why that comes out. Like there's really dull marks here. This is a little shinier. Actually, it feels a lot shinier too. This feels really rough. A lot of overspray. But the patchiness in the doors is just so bizarre. I don't know. All the doors are like that though. Yeah, they all have dull, flat and shiny areas, and lots of overspray. You touch them and they're just rough. You can feel the overspray. So also for another reason too is I guess they're peeling really bad. So if any of y'all know why they're peeling, I know the contractor, one of his employees told me that it was because the people were probably smokers here before. I don't know if I believe that. That sounds kind of far-fetched. But he said the paint wouldn't stick to the doors. I don't know, because I asked him about that. They're literally peeling while they were here. Another contractor did tell me that it was because the paint before that was an oil base, I guess. And the new paint they did was a latex. So painting with latex over oil-based paint is just gonna peel off, I guess. So I don't know, I'd like to know. Please leave a comment if you do know. There's definitely a reason why they're painting. So I wish they would have addressed that, but he didn't, like I said, he didn't feel like doing it. So yeah, a lot of texture like that in the corners. So if you can imagine, like all this is just full of texture, they had to come and re-sand them because they painted over everything from the beginning like that. But they still missed a lot of them. There's a little bit of, so you can see the overspray on there. It's just pretty rough, a lot of texture. But all of this is like that, and you know, they got some of it. A lot of runs. And yeah, I just wish that would have been cleaned up and sanded before being painted. Is what it is. This door is pretty bad here. It's hard to see, but a lot of rough spots on this door. I think they shot the gun. There's like a weird blotch right here. They must have got the gun clogged up or something, and they shot it and it cleaned out, and it's like all like wavy, the paint, where it splattered. And they tried to kind of wipe it down a little, but it just looks horrible. So I don't know how to fix that. If anybody knows how to fix that without, you know, buying a whole new door, let me know. Might be easier to buy a whole new door because, you know, it has like the wood grain finish. So if you sand it, you know, you might take off some of that. So hope I don't have to buy a new door, but might have to. Carpet. The carpet really came out freaking awesome. So shout out to Carrasco Carpet for doing that for us. He did a really good job. Very professional. I think him and Desert Palms were the only two professional companies we had in this house on this project. So again, this restroom has patchiness. There's shiny, there's eggshell, there's all sorts going on. I feel kind of like I'm on a trip or something, even though I've never done drugs, but very trippy, I think. But yeah, you can see here, there's shiny, like a shiny blotch here. The doors are a bit patchy. This one's missing paint, actually. It's not completely white. You can see the original bleeding through. And you can see right there. So this door needs to be repainted. It's just what I was wanting to do, is do some painting work. A lot of areas like this is really spotty where they didn't knock it down on time. See right there, just really spotty. It wasn't really knocked down too great. So this is kind of really rough. Tile work was all wrapped up. Let's see the paint. You can see the paint work right here. Just a lot of things that, I don't know, I just don't understand it really, honestly. But yeah, they did the tile work as well. I was wanting to do the tile work myself, and I should have. But I let them do it, and well, they did it, I guess. So, but yeah, there's a few areas that are just pretty uneven. Like right here is really bad. So I got to tell my cleaning lady not to. She's wiping stuff down to watch it. She doesn't cut her fingers because some of these are sharp. This one's like really steady, and this one's just like crooked for some reason. I'm not sure why. See that? I almost cut myself right there. Actually, it's really sharp. Would have definitely done a better job. I've done a lot of outdoor tile patios. You know, I just like to have stuff looking really precise. Might take me a little longer. You know, like I said, I'm not like a regular tile guy who does that for a living. Definitely be looking pretty good. See, here's where the paint is peeling on these doors. So they missed this. This is actually peeled. This is what their guys did. They peeled off a lot of areas, and they never did come back and paint them. But that was the original paint here. Actually, I kind of like it better, but they did it like an ultra white, which is brighter, which is fine. I don't mind it, but yeah, it just peels like. It's so easy. Look at that. It just peels so easy. And all the doors are doing that too. See, and the old one doesn't even peel. So honestly, looking back at it, I wish we would have left it the same. I wish we would have left it like that. I mean, not even have painted the doors or the trim. It's pretty crazy to think about, honestly. That's really crazy to think about, because that was the whole reason why I was wanting to have this house done. Was because everything just needed painting. I wanted it to look good and updated, and now that it's all painted, I liked it better with it not being painted, you know, it was at least smooth. So that's disappointing. That's very disappointing. You know, it looked better when it was trashed. The house looked trashed than now that it's done, honestly. And that just really, I didn't really think about that until now, until I heard the words come out of my mouth, but I mean, it's true. The trims and all the doors, like if I can go back in time, I would have had them leave them alone and just leave them. And even though they were scratched and looked horrible, they would have looked better than what they do now. So it's whatever. We got to just move on, get it done. You know, yeah, everything's kind of on the doors. These doors did not come out good at all. I wish they would have did a better job in painting these. These are horrible. Texture again. Look at that. Spray marks of texture there. But I wish all that was sanded just before everything was painted. I mean, I put my doorknobs on and they got paint all over all of them. I kind of went through and cleaned some of them off, but some of them are still dirty, like this one has some paint on there. I'm gonna have to get, I don't know, something to take it off, but all of them, they got paint just all over everything. Like, and the funny thing is, this door, I tried to open it after they got done that last day, and they painted it with it shut, so you can see the paint there. So it was stuck. This door was stuck. So yeah, look at that. I don't know why, but I had a horrible time getting it open. Yeah, look how easy it peels. It's just so, gosh, I'm so disappointed. I can understand if I didn't pay that much for it, then I'd be like, whatever, you know, get what you pay for. This is well over 20K for all of this, and you know, I've got to redo a lot of it. So there's a corner right there. That one was pretty bad. See, all this just needed to be peeled off before it was painted and smoothed out. Look at that. There's a big old run right there. It's just really, really, really crazy. Just see that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's another door. That's doorknob. That's painted. So I've got to go and clean all these up, which really stinks. Man, I don't know how much I paid to change all these out. And it's just depressing, you know? Disappointing and then depressing, you know? It just kind of depresses me to be here. Because I had a really cool, this door needs a little more paint. Yeah, I had really cool visions of this place. I really did, and now it's just, oh, there's the other two cats up there. Look at them. Oh, but look at this. There's paint there. Look at that. The wall there. The wall there has white paint. I don't know. And then they got paint all over the cabinets too, which, no, they're not the best cabinets. Man, like if they would have just taped everything off, like I have to come through and clean all that up. All of them, like that one, those on that wall too. Just disappointing, but I guess keeps me on my toes, keeps me busy. It's kind of hard to see. I wish this wall would have showed up, but this one was really patchy here. These corners weren't all that great either. A lot of the outlets, they have paint in them. Yeah, see, they're full of paint, so I can't put anything in them. Some blotchy painting work there, but a lot of them have paint on them like that, so I've got to go and clean a few of them. I've already had to clean like 2 or 3 of them. I don't know what that is right there, texture maybe. But yeah, doors are peeling all over, which kind of sucks. They did this tile too. They got all this put in, which luckily they didn't finish putting the grout up there, so we're gonna do that. So I'm actually glad, because I'm not sure. He said it was the same color. I mean, I don't know colors, but I can pretty much tell that that's gray and that's tan. So it's definitely different colors. I mean, you can see this whole line here is different than this. This is tan, and this is like a grayish, pinkish, or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know colors, but I can tell there's a different I can tell there's a different color there. I just don't know what it is. But tile work is well, pretty crazy. It's pretty rough. It's like all over the place. I'm not sure what was going on here. As you can see, just cut marks there. But yeah. Pretty crazy. This edge is really sharp. I'm not sure if that's going to be an issue or not. And then they're missing a tile. Like right here, they missed a tile, so they just grouted it. Right here, it's kind of like halfway grouted. And a lot of these edges are really bad too. Unfortunately, it's just kind of here, I've already started moving some of my stuff in. This room was really, really disappointing. Lots of paint missing in here. You see the corners, they just didn't finish them off. There's just like a lot of paint missing. They only did 1 coat, it looks like. So they didn't give it a second coat. So it's pretty crazy.